Ladies and gentlemen, it's another day, it's another you, it's another me, and it is another Mythic Wars group stage game. In the right-hand corner of the map, playing as the Blue Zeus from the Keen clan. Very keen indeed. His name is Tunison. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Gaia. His name is SK24. We know him better as Mechanics, the team game expert, or if you really want to wind the clock back, Blood. The map, Midgard, the bands, the picks, the drafts, the preparation, that's all behind us. Now all we have to do is sit back, watch, and see how it's all going to go. Thanks so much for the Prime, Mr. Rejo. Appreciate all the support from everyone. But we are on Midgard. Zeus versus Gaia. This matchup has been popping up quite a bit in this tournament thus far. And it makes sense why. Part of the goal of this draft and how you're trying to make like a really, really strong draft to get wins in this sort of tournament setting is not to pick a god because it's OP, because you think it's OP. No. It's how do I find a god that is overpowered on X map or really good on X map. And we've talked about this a million times with Zeus, where Zeus is just stock standard, very, very simple to play on Midgard. Happy days, pick Zeus, play Midgard, live the dream, right? So the question then is, if I know my opponent is going to get the Zeus for whatever reason, whether that be first pick advantage, they pick it, you need to have a counter pick. You absolutely need to have a counter pick in your back pocket to deal with this Zeus. Gaia has been the one rising to the surface. What we're seeing with the Gaia players is some sort of Oceanus Rhea idea. Idea being Super Murmillo beat Hoplite. And they beat Hoplite really, really hard. Then you've got other things to worry about, like the Hypaspis transition, some Toxotes and all that other stuff, and you can deal with those as well. So you have to figure out that next step. So you're trying to figure out the game as you go along to some degree, but you have to sort of plan it all. Ideas of making Caraballista, ideas of making Contarius, ideas of making Arcus, all of these things can be things you can add in to try and get your way through. But also you have to worry about all the other things that Zeus can do. So we'll see if Mechanics SK24 can make it happen. But we do have a nice little fish boom kicking off here. There was a build order that I recall from way back when. Maybe even 6 months ago when on Retold launch. I'm not sure where it went. But there was a build order where Gaia players were opening with an economic guild on this map, on a water map. Maybe it's less good because it delays your classical age, which means it delays the, what is this? It delays your per scene upgrade. Maybe it's less good now, and that's why we're not seeing it. Not 100% sure. But nonetheless, Athena coming through. Oceanus coming through. No surprises here.
Skopos, Herjos, Burek.
He has more than 2 heroes? He does too. He has 4 heroes on the gold mine. I think the idea here is that it's not really about eco. It's more about defending against any sort of early Minotaur that sneaks in onto the gold mine. But we'll see how things are going to go. More fishing ships coming up as we advance. The general idea here is we want to get up to as many fishing ships as possible. And generally the magic number is somewhere between 18 and 21. Then we get ourselves a per scene. Both players are going to be doing this, and this boosts our fishing economy up substantially. And we're going to move in onto this one. Is Rhea into Fnatic still not viable? It might be actually pretty good in this situation. Maybe not terrible. Anyways, Military Academy coming up. Oracle's moving back in. Thank you for the 27 Mosquito. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much for the support. Miller coming through here for SK24. Miller Hero, that is. And into the main base here for Tunison. He is making a market and armor. He built one military academy only. Looks like he's going to be going for some sort of a fast heroic. Same too for SK24. It makes perfect sense. You don't really want to put all the hard pressure on early into Gaia because it can be very, very easy to defend against that if that gets scouted. And at any point here, you can sort of even cancel the heroic age and spam out units if you see the massive military academies coming through with the Caladria. Nonetheless, up here, fishing ships scouting around. We do see a cheeky little Pentacontra in to snipe off this fishing ship, and that one will go down. You can actually animation cancel this Pentacontra, because if you see... There we go, he's actually doing it. You can animation cancel the Pentacontra, and he's going to be able to stick onto a fishing ship. Great little servant grab in, sacking the servant, keeping the fishing ship alive, getting that 21 food in. Nice play for mechanics. Hoplites coming in, spot the Oracle over here. Going to be taking that one out. Nice little win in the early stages of the game there for Tunison. As Dionysus is coming in, Thea, the god of choice here for SK24. No Rhea. So this means no trader on the Skylar, which is another thing you have to sort of worry about. And what else? Well, you do see the shaft mine coming through, but he will have access to Stymphalian birds to potentially counter the Skylar as an idea. Maybe. Super Contarius as well. Wow, thank you so much for the gifted subs. Eyes Machine, thanks so much, my dude. You're the best. Mwah, mwah, mwah. As over here, Hoplites getting sniped down as those guys are getting pushed back for the time being. Tunison now getting himself the Sarissa technology, more Hoplites queued up, more military academies coming down in archery range as well now popping up. As the Pentacontras rowing in onto this position. One to read in. Got to be careful with this bad boy. She does a huge amount of damage, but you don't want to lose her. As the Myrmidon kind of stuck out into the center of the map here. We will see the Minotaur going down. As the Stymphalian bird actually moving forward. Might want to bring this one onto the water here. A couple of fire ships are going to be enough to help defend. And now you just have to be hyper aware of the Skylar coming through. Make sure the Nereid gets over there. Make sure you get the special attack off and then run immediately. And then you can kill it off with the second special attack. As Poseidon's Secret coming through. Medium infantry as well on the way for SK24. We are now starting to see some Hypaspists on the way here. The beautiful thing about making like 1 or 2 Caraballista is it forces out a ton of Peltast. And then you can just go, no worries. Like, you got a whole bunch of useless Peltasts now, and we can just go into something completely different. There's a nice raid coming in onto the bottom of the map. 2 villagers trying to get houses up, but those are going to get trapped in here. Picks both of them up. Or off, I should say. As the army for Tunison now on the move up onto this side. Raids onto the fishing ships. Raids literally everywhere. Tunison in a little bit of a tricky position here. But he's got the army to run forward. He's got restoration. He's got bronze. We'll see if he can break in onto this position and start taking apart Tunison's base. The Murmillo, however, they're on the case here to take the villagers out over here. In a lot of trouble, Tunison is. I still want to see one counter barracks and some Carabalis just so he can't get dove as easily. But nonetheless, a couple of hoplites going down over here. As it's a 40 villager to 31 lead for the time being. Mechanics coming in, trying to snipe off the Toxote onto this position here as well. Picks off the Toxote, retreats back. Nice play. Still has to be careful of the fights he's taking. Can't yet take this one. Half of his units are idle. Well, not idle, but trying to do something else over onto this position. The fire ship's still going after fishing ships all over the place. Yes, I am in Australia, and it is currently 3 a.m. We're in Perth, Australia. Sacrifice for the Asian mythology. This is how we go. There's the hoplites coming over. Bit of some snipages over onto this side. The Contarius swinging in to hit some villages over here as well. Man, this is so brutal for Tunison. He's in a really, really tough place economically. He's not able to just get over here and hit this gold mine, but he should be. Both players on this second gold mine with no fortress there is a pretty scary place to be in. Meanwhile, over onto this side, however, the Murmillos are taking some heavy damage. Arca's starting to come out, but this is a little bit dangerous for SK24. He's trying to pull back into his little main base here underneath the Hesperid's tree, get into a nice choke point, and then take the fight. Over onto this side, Contarius getting taken out ever so slightly. He's got to retreat back. He's got a couple of those dryads there to cause some problems. The villagers all over the place taking huge damage here. As now Tunison has to take a fight. Restoration comes through. That's what SK24 wanted. He can now pull back into his main base. Still pumping units out. There are no ballistics in just yet, but ballistics only really matter for specific situations. Like if you're trying to snipe, if you're taking a fight like head on, like currently, it doesn't really matter that much. There's a Contarius here, need to be positioned really, really nicely. Pulls them back. The hoplites going after them. Peltast on top of the Arcus on the back here. This is not a good fight for SK24 in the slightest here. And now he's down to 100 population. And the game turns on its head awfully quick. If you take a fight that poorly, great control from Tunison. Unfortunate for SK24. He's over on 2 different gold mines though, so he does have a little bit of time here to deal with this. The real answer for SK24 in this moment is to go into pure Murmillos if he can. How many barracks does he have? He's got 6 barracks. He needs pure Murmillo out in this moment. Doesn't really have a whole lot of food. A couple of chickens here. You could pull off of this wood, come over onto these walrus and go for this. Obviously, the answer to pure Murmillo is going to be pure Herpaspist or even Toxote Herpaspist. So you do have to then change into a different unit comp. But this is what SK24 needs right now. And there's still a bronze remaining here. Hoplites charging in to take out the villagers here as well. There's the military barracks coming down. Hoplites charging through. Arcus trying to get some damage done on this position. Not many military buildings remaining. It's going to make things very, very challenging here. A bronze can come in for Tunison if he wants, and he does decide to go for it. He can turn onto the town center even now at the moment as well and not really worry. SK24 trying to make some Murmillos heroes on the back here, but the town center will be falling. Hesperid's trees queued up, trying to get them out to defend here. But in that moment, he realizes the game is lost. He was playing an immaculate game up until this one fight here. I think when he saw this army of Hoplite Peltast and the fact that he had Arcus Contarius, he probably should have just split off the army, not taken the fight, sent all the Contarius up here to just attack the villages yet again, and then make nothing but Murmillo. Put a whole bunch of buildings down, huge Murmillos to come out, and then he would have been able to actually take this fight and win this one. But unfortunately, does not go the way of SK24 here, and Tunison gets the dub on the board, 1-0 now. Moving to game number 2 and see if SK24 can do more of the same, but also convert the advantages that he's trying to create here. If you guys enjoyed the series, make sure you hit the follow button, make sure you subscribe, make sure you leave comments and all the other good stuff, and we'll see you in the next one. Alrighty, game number 2 is upon us. In the right-hand corner of the map, in the blue color, playing as Set. His name is Tunison. And in the left-hand corner, playing as Odin, his name is SK24. First game, a bit of a wild one. SK24 did get off to a really good start, but made a little bit of a mistake in the mid-game, and it really hurt him. We'll see if he can make things work in game number 2 now. He's got the Odin. He's on the map Marsh. It's a good map for Odin, but it's a tough matchup for him. Tunison has the set. There's a lumber camps coming up, and Tunison is just going to be doing some standard set shenanigans, I guess. The question is, what type of set are we going to see? I guess that's what we have to think about. So it could either be the Anubis, it could be the Ptah, it could be Anubites, it could be Wadgets, it could be a Farsican town center. But we'll see what's going to happen here. Now, if it depends on what's going to happen here, but when you're playing as Odin, I think against Set, one thing you really want to do is get out of your base in the early stages of the game. You don't want to be eating this hunt here. You want to be out here eating the boar. You could probably walk blindly forward on this map because there's always going to be a hunt spawn right at the front here with boars and stuff. So you could probably just walk forward, eat those, live the dream. And then when the classical age comes in, we move back into our base, we great hunt, we shoot the animals or herd the animals underneath our town center, we great hunt them, we eat them nice and safely there, we don't have to worry, we just have to make sure that our gold mine's nice and secure, and we're good to go. And you can even like leave a couple of animals alive for another great hunt. Meanwhile, we are going to be seeing an Anubis for Tunison. I think the idea here is that with the spearmen being so strong, if you just go Anubis, you get even stronger spearmen, and that can be a really, really good like sort of starting tool to put a lot of pressure onto your opponents and all the other good stuff. But yeah, this is going to be a tough one, I think, for SK24 because he's not doing the little tricks that get you through the game. He's eaten all of his food. He didn't get lucky and get a water buffalo spawn or auroch spawn or anything like that. Big Harry, thanks so much for the kind words, my friend. Love you. Okay, I haven't checked the relics out here. Let's have a look. Got Thundercloud, sure. Not the most impactful of shenanigans here. Over here, we've got the Hestia's Hearth with the Villager Train Time and all the other good stuff there. Ria's Crown on this side, making the town centers a bit cheaper. Got Pandora's Box over here with the minus 15% favor cost. On the top side of the map, we've got the Canopic Jar of Imseti, reducing the infantry train time. Really, really good actually for Set over there if you grab that one. And Ulla's Bow. Always love this one. This one's great for Odin in this matchup specifically. French Biryani, thanks so much for the kind words, man. Appreciate you. As the Vision getting dropped down by Tunison, he wants to see what he's up against. And he does spot everything. The village is moving over to these water buffalo. Everything. Now, the Valkyrie, however, where is it? It's sitting over on this spot. I actually think the Valkyrie's main job here against Set is not to go and raid your opponent early game. It's to pick off a greedy Anubite, an aggressive Anubite. That's the main purpose. But he does manage to catch it out in the center of the map. Huge damage to come in. The Valkyrie riding in from the back to try and block this one from getting back home to heal up. It will not have a jump anytime soon. Mechanics doing the mechanics to snipe this one. And Tunison gives up. First blood drawn. Absolutely huge. Following this along, we're now starting to see the boars getting sniped in the center of the map. This is giving a huge amount of favor over to SK24. And did he use it? He used his Great Hunt over onto this spot, it looks like. Not a secondary Great Hunt, but just used his Great Hunt over here. No problems there. And he's just going to try and get himself as much favor as he possibly can. A huge amount of axemen out to kick the game off. Tunison getting a market, getting an armory up as well. You got to be careful with this. I get what SK24 is doing. He's trying to just like tank, but you don't get any favor from your myth units fighting. So you want to just use human units to pick off the animals if you can. So take the damage, take the heat, so to speak. As a couple of spearmen do get spotted in the center of the map. And so far, 2 Valkyrie have been built. You do get favor from the... I don't think you get favor from myth units. No. I don't think you do. Wait, do you? Half rate for myth units? I swear I checked this. You get 50%? Hold on. So anyways, I'm right even if I'm wrong. Maybe it got changed in a patch like 10 years ago. At some point, myth units didn't give any favor. All right, I'll it's fine. There's the big fat army of Tunison starting to muster up into the center. Walls coming up here as well. There's a blot on the way now as well for SK24. See, this is fun. This is actually really interesting because it's like, what SK24 is doing here, like, not only is it good for him, but it's also bad for our set player, because our set player, like Tunison, he should be converting all these animals in the center of the map. He should be. That should be his goal. And SK24 is kind of denying that as well, as he does manage to pick up a whole bunch of spearmen over here. Meanwhile, into the main base, Valkyrie snipes off a villager, but not having them for this fight over here could be a little bit tricky. As the Berserk's taking out more animals in the center of the map, but losing longhouses, losing everything over here. We see a forest fire getting dropped down. The Dizzleblot Valkyrie are going ham over here as the villagers trying to make a break for the tower. Is this going to be another villager snipe? No. The Pharaoh coming over. Nope. Misses as the Valks get out of there. He's going to be able to heal these back up as well. Man, he just goes just tiny bits out of line of sight here. Meanwhile, Vision into the main base. More Valkyrie coming in. Drone Axeman going to be enough to dissuade this army from pushing into this position as the Valkyrie just goes straight through the middle. Going to start taking out the obelisk that was set up, limiting vision. Over onto this right-hand corner, though. Couple of raiding units to push forward to take this out. There's just obelisks everywhere, so he's got to be so careful. He's got to kill off the vision, get in onto the units, and get a good fight. As the Valkyrie moves straight past Tunison's priest over. He does notice it, however. As Plague of Serpents gets dropped down onto this position, the Berserks to snipe down a priest or two. As now Tunison going for a fight over here. SK24's got to be careful. He's retreating back. He's trying to micro on two sides at once. Losing a Valkyrie, not ideal, but he does manage to pull that one back with the nick of time. Villagers, dwarves over on this side need to bail. And he does pull back. Good damage coming through from those Throwing Axemen. Does have to retreat though. But now, the Berserks, the Valkyrie to come in. No priests on this position for the time being. This should be a good fight for SK24. He doesn't get the wall back up. He's going to try. He's running for it. There's an Axeman waiting here though. Perfect play from Tunison. But it moves off. The wall starts. But it gets broken down and Tunison now out of it. The reinforcements joining up. SK24 can't charge in here anymore. He's got to pull away. Scardy queued up. Villagers sneaking this gold mine at the top. I want to see another wall over here. A market coming up onto this position as the army to charge forward. Getting some damage. Retreating back. Great control from SK24 thus far. The house is coming up all over the place. And where to next? Vision coming down. Spotting everything. He doesn't see the villagers on the top gold mine. But he does see no one else anywhere. So he has to know he's either here or here. He could be here, mind you. Oh, as the spearmen do spot the villagers on this food over here. Some much needed raids for Tunison here. As the raids on the front also doing mad damage. The villager differential is still incredibly close here, mind you. So there's no advantage really being gained. Hefty advantage being gained by SK24 just yet. It's just like good picks moving through the game. But now it's Nefties and it's Scardy. As the villagers retreating back. SK24 spots it. Can he get in front? Can he get a building block in here? He's starting to pick off a couple of villagers. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to get in and do his building block shenanigans that he's known for. He's so good at it, but just not quick enough. Hill Fort coming up. Great Hall. Whole bunch of longhouses. All the buildings. This is the type of time to set up that you need as Norse. If you can get all of this up and get your economy going, this is huge. Valkyrie needs to pull back. Can't be losing these. He can heal them back up. Nearly getting close to full population. So many units in queue here. He's got to pull back and just heal for the moment. No need to force a fight just yet. Wait for upgrades. He's running straight into the army. Tunison in a good spot with his army, but he can't really take a solid fight anymore. Nephthys is in. This is to dissuade Frost, it looks like. But SK24 wants to take a fight. He's charging in. He's got all the Valkyrie in the world. There's a lot of priests here. The Ancestors gets dropped down. Frost gets dropped. And now the Valkyrie leave and they're ready to go yet again after the villagers of Tunison. Microing these Herso and army actually to take out all of the living minions, unfrozen minions. Very, very important here. As the Pharaoh comes in, snipes one Valkyrie, going after a second one. Does pull it back in the nick of time. 10 HP remaining there. As all the minions have been taken down. 150 population. Jarl's queued up. Still not using all the barracks here. He's got 3, but unfortunately 6 throwing axemen queued up in one of those. Plague of Serpents getting dropped down by Tunison here. He pops out of the frost. Can he win this fight? It's a majority infantry units against majority axemen here. And SK24 needs to pull back. He turns around trying to get more damage, but the army does end up melting here. The counter unit's too good for Tunison as SK24 now has to pull back and rethink about what he's going for. He's going for Jarls. But Jarls are going to be really, really good here. There's only a handful of spam. And if you can get up to full population Jarls and throw an Axeman, he's going to be in a good spot. For some reason, a whole bunch of Herbmen are queued up. He's not going to be needing those anytime soon. Meanwhile, in a new Boit raid while this is all going on, he comes in. He's going to snipe off that ox cart. SK24 is paying attention, though. Pulls back to his hill fort. Over onto this side, however, the other gold mine's getting hit at the same time. SK24 is now in a very, very tricky position. Fighting underneath the hill fort. The Jarl's going to be tanking a lot, but there's just not enough units here. Not enough at all. And the villagers retreating back home. SK24 with not very much remaining. And he does tap out. An unfortunate loss here. Yet again, another game where SK24 was playing out of his mind. But some key mistakes in the most important part of the game lead to him unfortunately losing. Like, he got what he wanted. I feel like after this frost was done, after he picked off the minions, he just needs to retreat back. Get set up even more. Like, you got, when you're playing as Odin against Egyptian, it's build on advantages. Build on advantages. Step up, step up, step up. He was playing such a good game. But you have to play so slow and methodical with Odin versus Set to find a win. And he kind of just, something clicked in his brain and he just went, nah, we got to fight. And he just did not need to. He needed to pull back. He needed to get upgrades. He needed to get the Jarls going. Get this gold mine secured better. Get this gold mine secured better. Maybe even more hill forts or something like that. More military buildings. More economy. But nonetheless, well played here by Tunison. Up 2-0. We'll see if SK24 can make it a series and win game 3. Or if Tunison is going to be able to continue his dominating ways. We'll get into that next game right now. All right. Game number 3. On the map Alfheim. It is currently 2-0 for Tunison. He's up against SK24, who's playing some Hades for us against the Frere. I've seen this before. This game requires the Hades player to do something special. You can't sit back and boom and expect to win. This is the Hades game plan, right? Hades wants to sit back, get to that late game, and just cruise to an easy victory with the better army. Does that work here? No. No, sirree. You got to be aggressive. You got to block off town centers. You got to block off everything. Look at how beautiful this town center is for our Frere player. You cannot allow him to take this town center. This one at the bottom is also very, very nice. Couple walls, you secure a gold mine. A wall over here, you secure 2 gold mines. You have the Gullenburst to help out. So there's both of these center town centers need to be denied. Easier said than done. We'll see what SK24 is going to go for. But this is somewhat of a repeat matchup that I saw earlier today. Who was playing? Not coming to me. My memory is not what it used to be. I remember the game. I remember the thing. I just don't remember the players. What is wrong with me? It was a really nice one. Tiger Boss Rappel. There you go. It came to me. I don't know why that took so long. But we'll see what SK24 is going to go for. The good thing about Hades here is if you do go for a 1 town center play, this early Vaults of Erebus build really makes up for all of the advantages or sort of deletes all the advantages that SK24 is going to get with hand axe and pickaxe. Early hand axe and pickaxe. So it's a nice little, your god gets something early, my god gets something early. So there's not really any significant advantage for either one moving forward in the game. Actually, if anything, there's a pretty significant advantage for the Hades player. So we'll see which way SK24 is going to go. He does decide to go for Athena. I don't mind Athena. I also don't mind Ares here either. I think both are a valid way to play, so long as we're playing 1 town center gameplay. As a whole bunch of villagers are moving over to wood and gold. Ajax coming out. Haven't checked the relics yet. Let's see what's happening. We've got Jade Hair, Myth Unit Speed. Oh, we have pre-nerfed Minotaur on steroids. For everyone, this is huge. This is really, really big. This is really good for SK24 if he's going to go into those Minotaur there. Over here, we've got another relic. We've got the Arrows of the Alpha. Going to be good for our defense for Tunison. Making those towers a little bit stronger. Feather of Bifang, a great one for SK24 to pick up to try and take out everything. Over here, we've got the Nose of the Sphinx. Boosting up the buildings. Another really good relic actually up there for Tunison. Look at these. He's 4.7 speed. Without an upgrade. Love it. He's got only the 1 villager on favor though. Obviously, you don't want to overdo it on these, but man, it's strong. It's strong to get the Minotaur, the Bull Minotaurs out. Oh no. Look. I know you don't want to be risky. You want to play into your god's strengths, but I've seen this story. I've seen it. I've seen it 100 times. SK24 is going to have to make some magic happen here. Some literal magic to make this work. Another longhouse coming down for Tunison. The saving grace here. Nope, never mind. I was going to say the saving grace is that he hasn't spotted the town center, but he has. All right. Here's the plan. Okay, here's the thought process. We drop because it's a closer town center, we have a little bit more resources. We get the wood. We drop double archery range right away. We spam out Toxotes. And we just dive this town center as fast as we humanly can. Asgardian Hill Fort down though. He almost has to just dive this as well. He needs to have units going. He does have resources in the bank for this, but it's just not going to be working. I guess another saving grace here for SK24 is that no, Tunison is Tunison's a different breed of Frere. He isn't waiting around. He is going to be a very aggressive here. Minotaur getting targeted down. The Draugr will get sniped, and I think we are going to be seeing a portable ram. Oh, and he can't even take the wooden wall out. I think we're going to be seeing some portable ram shenanigans here. Oh dear. Oh dear. And farm's getting thrown up. Oh no. He can't afford to do this. This is going to be brutal. Let's see if he grabs it. He gets it straight away. He's not messing around. Tunison is up 2-0. He is full of confidence right now. He has seen this. He's seen this strategy a million times. He knows how much stuff he can produce and how little stuff the Hades player can produce. I mean, to be honest, it's not actually that little. You can actually get quite a bit of stuff out. However, SK24 is not. He's building stables. I'm very worried for SK24 right now. Walls coming up. Does he know what's coming for him? He knows there's an Asgardian Hill Fort in the middle of the map. Hippias technically have bonus damage versus throwing Axemen. He's making Minotaurs, Hippias, Toxotes now. He's spent all of his resources. The portable ram will be coming. I mean, at this point, you may as well just show it and go, I'm attacking you, because it's basically telegraphed. The problem with Hippias is you can't garrison them into the town center, right? Is that true? Yeah, you can't garrison them into the town center. Whereas hoplites, you can garrison into the town center and you might be able to like help defend yourself. As now the sentinels comes down, watchtowers queued up. Portable rams say, we do not care about anything here. He's trying to micro this to try and survive. The house goes down. Buildings are going to start getting taken out. There is a restoration available. Survival equipment, is that through? No. No survival equipment for the villagers. Grab that, and then we can start thinking about shanking down these units. Great control from SK24 thus far, but there's so much military for Tunison. It's all about execution right now from both players as to who wins this game. Villagers getting pulled off of the wood line. There's no running from this town center either. It's almost 100% cut off. SK24, if he can save the villagers and move into his main base, maybe he can survive a little longer. Tower getting sniped down over here. Another house sniped. As the house is in the main base. Need to come up the hometown center. Going down. Villagers pulled to start shanking. Army charging in. Taking huge damage on the retreat there as well. Almost enough favor for another sentinels here. Could be very important to see to his success as he's going to charge forward. He's going to have to use the sentinels and the restoration. He drops the restoration. No sentinels coming down. Must not realize he's got the favor. Wasn't playing for it. The town center will be falling. But the Hippias are on top of the thrown axemen, able to take them out. SK24 shows the Hippias. He doesn't lose any villages. He's in a great spot now. Tunison loses everything. SK24, he's been cooking. I did not believe in the Hippias to save him here, and they've done a great job. He's charging it onto the Asgardian Hill Fort. The Huskarl to turn around. This might not be the best idea, but he's going for it nonetheless. He's queued up. Oh, God, he's queued up. 12 Toxotes. Oh, no. He's got to get out of here. He can't take this down just yet. He's got to get to a gold mine. He's got the walls up. He doesn't necessarily need another town center back up here, but there's no real problems with just dropping it again. Couple of farms coming up over here. But like we always like to say, does a villager differential really matter against Freya? An Asgardian Hill... Oh, an Asgardian Hill Fort over here could be absolutely brutal. He's dropping it right over on this side, though. As the villager's going to be repairing this one back up. Town center coming back up for SK24. He manages to take a bit of a good fight here. He's got to be careful, though, because now with Herdman getting into the mix, he's obviously seized the Hippias. It can be very, very difficult to deal with this. So much favor in the bank for SK24. He's going to have another restoration. Right now, 61 villages. He needs more military buildings. Good control here from SK24. He's got to pull back. Those Huskars, excuse me, are going to be really, really powerful. He's got himself now 3 archery ranges, 4 stables. But I don't think they're in his control group. He's got 5 stables, actually, and going on 4 archery ranges. Armory coming up on 2 positions here for SK24. Wants his armory upgrades. And now a labyrinth of minnows. Oh, I love this idea, but it will mean no restoration. But he needs those minotaurs out now because he's about to get gold starved. As the next army is motoring in, these villagers need to run. They will make a break for this little gap over here. As the army coming through. Most of the villagers will survive. Only loses 2. As the army charges in to take this fight. Great control with the Hippias pulling back. Toxotes getting good damage done. SK24 out of gold now, however. He needs some infantry or Minotaur or something to tank a market coming up. Selling is his only option at the moment. He's got almost has the resources for the restoration here. He gets the market up. Diving into the town center, popping out over to the other side. Portable rams coming forward. Villagers in desperation right now as the Herdmen are all on top of the Hippias. And Tunison seemingly managing to continue this attack. And SK24 can no longer afford units and taps out 3 games, all telling the same story. SK24 gets off to a fantastic start. He absolutely dominates the initial strategy of Tunison in every single one of these games thus far. He gets into the next portion of the game after he has success, and he can't manage to continue the amazing decision making. And in each instance, Tunison capitalized with ferocity. A solid 3-0 for Tunison, but SK24's got to hold his head high with some really, really creative strategies and solid gameplay. If he plays these same 3 games 3 more times, he's going to start finding wins here. If you guys enjoyed the series, enjoyed the strategy, enjoyed the gameplay, enjoyed this tournament, make sure you hit the follow button, subscribe button, comments, all the other good stuff, and we'll see you in the next game.